Happy December and happy first day of Advent. This year what I decided to do for December is make kind of like a weekly vlog daily update type of thing where I open my Advent with you guys and work my way through it because I got 2 different Advents this year. I've never done this before, so I thought that it would be super exciting to share the pre-holiday experience with you guys. December 1st is also very special, not only because it is the day where it's appropriate to put up your Christmas tree. I put mine up yesterday. It's not fully done. Hopefully I can show you guys in the upcoming days once it is, but it is up. It's just missing a little bit of pizzazz. What I also wanted to say is December 1st is very special for me and my boyfriend because today is 6 years that we've been together. It is our anniversary. We're gonna go to a really nice restaurant tonight and then go see a movie. Now the movie isn't your typical date night movie and it's not your typical anniversary movie, but it kind of worked really well for us. The movie we're gonna go see is Predator: Badlands because one, he worked on it, so I'm really excited to see his work on the big screen. It is also like the first movie we both worked on in the industry. I think it was fall of 2017. I was on the project for a couple of months and then I got moved to another Netflix movie. He joined like the next year in the spring, either April or March, around that time. The movie still wasn't done, so he was on Predator from there till the end, but technically we both worked on it and that was the first movie for the both of us and we both met at this company. Like it just kind of all lines up, and I guess Predator is now just like our couples franchise. I don't really know if that's a thing. I know couples have like songs, but anyways, I thought that that would line up really great. I'm super excited to see it and I heard really good things about it, so it should be really fun. Because it's our anniversary, I did get him a gift, but this also lined up perfectly. I finished and knit up my beanie. This was the knit that I technically was supposed to finish on the 6th of December, but I last night hurried my butt and finished it. It's not blocked, it's not washed. That still needs to be done and the end still needs to be weaved in. Well, this hat was originally the project I decided to go for my spin to knit along, which is spinning 100 grams of wool for I think a little over a week and then for the next 2 weeks knitting it into a project. As I said, I finished this a little bit early because of today. So originally I had a different knitting idea and I wanted to make something with the DK weight yarn for myself, but because worsted weight is so much thicker and it's less meterage, I had to really change my plan and I decided to knit for him the weekend hat by Petite Knit. I've never made him a hat, which is kind of crazy that the first hat is going to be a handspun yarn hat. This hat turned out beautifully. I just had to modify the original stitch count and the first row of decreases because my yarn was thicker than the DK weight that was asked for this pattern. I said worsted, but it's like an Aran worsted yarn weight. So what I did for this is I cast it on 100 stitches on US 7, which is 4.5 millimeter needles, and then the first row of decreases, instead of doing the 8 that it asks, I did 8 plus 4 to get to the next stitch count that it asked for. So I did do a more intense decrease the first row, but I think you don't really see it too much. So I think it still worked up in the end. Instead of figuring out the stitch count at the top, I thought it would just be better to decrease right away a little bit too much. But yeah, now I'm gonna stop talking about it because he is gaming and he doesn't know. So I don't want him to come out. But now we can talk about the real reason why we're here, the Advents. I have 2 Advents this year. One is a fiber Advent, which is for spinning, and then the second one is a yarn and project-based Advent. Now, which one do I want to talk about first? You know what, let's start with the yarn first. This is the Advent calendar for Önling. It is a different one than your traditional 24 gifts, like open 1 mini skein a day. This one is once a week, typically open on Sunday, but I'm opening it up today because today's the first. It is yarn with a gift and then a pattern. Reason why I went with this one is because I thought it would work really well against my spinning one, which is a more daily Advent. I like the idea of having a project with the yarn so I know what I'm going to be using this yarn for, and it being once a week is a little bit slower as well. Let's see if I can make up, because there's 4 of these, let's see if I can make up all 4 bags before Christmas, but if not, I don't know, that might be a lot of knitting. We'll see. What I also really liked about this one is you were able to make up your own color palette and choose your own colors from their yarn on their site. I don't know what the patterns are. There were little like sneak peek pictures. Other than that, I don't know. I did just receive the first week pattern through email and I have downloaded it, so we'll take a look at it together afterwards. Yarn, cheaper than therapy, more satisfying than chocolate. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So this is at the top and it is the gift for this week. It is, oh my God, that smells so good. It's not teas in all the weeks, but this is Tasteful Temple and Earl Grey, Oenling number 5 with a light vanilla flavor. It is 92% black tea, 5% temple tree leaves, and 1.2% mallow flowers. I don't know, it smells really good. I'm excited to try the tea. Other than that, in the bag is just the yarn. This week I have 3 skeins of Oenling's 100% fine merino wool. It is 200 meters, the 50 grams. This beautiful white, this is kind of like a gray icy white. I have about 600 meters of yarn. All I knew when choosing this color was it would be for a potential scarf, cowl, or shawl. I don't remember what it said, but it was something along the neck. And I felt like this kind of icy cold would be beautiful along with the other colors for the other patterns. The pattern that I'll be knitting with this one is actually, let's take a look, Fika Shawl by Inga Liz Holst and Catherine Hannibal. Catherine Hannibal. That's actually the person who I knit the test knit for with the Önling yarn like a couple years ago for my mom, the t-shirt again, this one. It was actually a design by Catherine Hannibal. That's kind of cool. I believe, I don't want to say anything here, but I believe she is one of the designers for Önling store. Now this knit should be a lot of fun. It is 600 meters on fingering weight yarn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that in a week and I don't want to like stress myself out. We'll see how far I get. But one thing I'm looking forward to it is the fact that it's like a stockinette knit with twists, but not cables. So hopefully I don't need a chart for the entire thing. Stockinette is usually simpler to knit up. Yeah, I think it's gonna be beautiful in that yarn color. I'm gonna cast it on tonight and we'll see how it gets. So for this one, everything you need is inside one bag. There's not 4 separate bags or many separate bags, it's all in one. This is also only the 12 first days of Christmas Advent. So it's not like a full 24-day Advent. Every day during the 12 days you take out, this is day 1. This is what it looks like. There's like the little wool inside of here and there's a gift attached to it. The gifts are all locally sourced and handmade. So I really like that about it and thought it was a really nice touch. So day 1 is, oh my God. Day 1 is some little stitch markers. These are from Busted Buttons. A lot of her stitch markers she sends with the yarn is from Busted Buttons. This is the label, if you guys want. But these are just too cute. They're little like forest mushrooms. Oh. The sun has completely disappeared, but we will continue. The day 1 on the back, I haven't taken a look yet. There is the label of what the fiber is. Now I don't know, do I want to spin it blind or do I want to know? I don't know. We're gonna take a look at the wool and then I'll decide. It is a beautiful brownish gray. And with that, there is the original lock, which is unprepped, uncarded, just washed. And screw it, I'm gonna figure out. Home on the Hills, Cormo coated, 7 Spirit Farms. That is my day 1 of Advent. Happy day 2. Yesterday I was actually really productive. I casted on the knit for the shawl and at the same time was able to spin up the first day's wool. Just as a reminder, this is what the wool originally looked like. I think I pointed it out yesterday how interesting. I mean, I've been playing with it a lot, so it's kind of changing, but there was one part that was really straight and one part that's a little bit more crimpy and it was kind of like split. You can still kind of tell, hopefully this side it's much more straight than this side. There's a very good reason. After watching the live of Melissa from Melly Knits opening the advents and explaining what it is in that day, because she does that for every day, she did say that this Romney from this farm, it's a farm in New York, it's very unique. It isn't like a typical Romney characteristic, but this wool has that like very defined difference between a really long straight piece and like a really crimpy piece, and it kind of really makes it unique. It's just like an extra characteristic that isn't in the overall book. This is what a Romney should be. They're not traditionally like that. This is the spin from yesterday. This is what I was able to make. I'm aiming for like a DK sport weight once plied. I am planning to do a 2-ply. This spun up beautifully, and you couldn't even tell that there were two different like staple lengths or staple crimpness to the wool. There was no differentiating it, but I'm assuming it's because it was so beautifully blended and carded. I love the color of this one. And for today's wool, what I'm really excited to see is it's supposed to be this exact wool again, but blended with some random mystery wool, blended with something really special to kind of like zhuzh it up. I'm going to be spinning that one single, and then I hope to ply them together. So I'm going to do that for all 12 days. So I should end up with 6 different yarns. But before I open up today's package, I did want to take a moment to talk about my advent knitting that I casted on yesterday for the Oenling weekly advent. I'm sorry, it might be a little bit noisy because of my little stitch markers. So this is kind of all I was able to work up yesterday, because by the time I finished eating, by the time I finished the spin, it was like 9:30 p.m. and I just casted it on, knit a little bit back and forth, worked up the first twist, and yeah, that was it. Winter's here and my lips are starting to chap. I'm gonna have to go get some chapstick after. Hopefully tonight I can get a little bit further on this one. As for the advent, oh, the cards. There are also these cards that I didn't show you guys before, but it's just like labels so that I can write what the initial like yarn is at the end when I'm done spinning it. But today is day 2. Day 2 does not come with a gift because it is the wool with a specialty blend. And do I look? Do I not look? Okay. Okay, no. Let's open it. Apparently all of the yarn that is used to wrap up the little daily gifts is from one of her friends. It's yarn that she like kind of hated and didn't want to use. So Melissa just used it as a gift wrapping method, which is kind of genius. Just use up scraps and it made it really cute, you know? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Interesting. Interesting. Is it darker? No, it's like almost the same color. So this is today's and this is yesterday's. Interesting. I can't really put my finger on it. I'll have to spin it up. So today's wool is Cormo coated from 7 Spirit Farms again, mixed with 20% Bison. O Canada Bison Wool Shop from Alberta. There's 20% Bison. I've spun with yak before, but I've never spun with Bison. I remember going to Knit City asking Melissa if any of her advents this year would have yak, because as you guys know, I'm having kind of like a yak moment. I really enjoy that fiber blended into like other fiber, and she said no, but she said that there's something similar, and she couldn't tell me what, and she didn't tell me in which advent, and I'm wondering if it's the Bison. I'm really intrigued to spin this one now. That's so cool. 20% Bison down. It's funny how it really didn't change the color of the initial Romney. These look really similar. I guess I'll have to go spin it up and see. Happy day 3, happy Wednesday. Today we're going to be starting off with yesterday's spin, but I did also want to say I have a knitting event to go to tonight right after work, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to spin today's wool. We'll see. It really depends on how I feel when I come back and what time I come back from said knitting event. Yesterday I was able to spin the Cormo from 7 Spirits Farm with 20% Bison down. Here are both spins. This is the 100% Cormo from the first day. If you look, there's ever so slightly a shade difference. This one's a little bit cooler, this one's a little bit warmer, but from afar, they're very, very similar. You can hardly tell that there is Bison in this one. I just can tell because the bobbins are different different made. They did still spin extremely differently. The 100% Cormo did have a little bit of a toothiness to the natural wool already, so it was a little bit of like a grippy draft. Not too hard, just how the wool works, which spun beautifully. I really enjoyed this one. Whereas with the Bison, I think I preferred the 100% Cormo. The wool already had a toothiness, and Bison tends to apparently also have a toothiness to it. Bison is also a much shorter staple length than the original lock was. So in the carding, you couldn't tell them apart visually, but when you were drafting, this one drafted really differently, and this one was a little bit harder for me. This one, it just kept wanting to draft and become a lace weight, so I did have to fight it a little bit. There are some parts in here that are very, very thin, and I'm curious to see once I two-ply it what exactly is gonna happen, because Bison is also a very airy, squishy, like fluffy wool, and it holds a lot of like air and bounce. So maybe once I apply it and wash it, the fiber will like bounce up again and just bloom beautifully. Or maybe some parts will just be weirdly thin. I don't know. If you were to ask me out of the two, I think I preferred the Cormo alone, not with the Bison. Yeah, but it is still really interesting, and I'm super glad I was able to spin with Bison because I had never seen this wool before. It was not accessible to me. It was a fun spin. It's just, if you were to ask me to spin like 2 pounds of wool, I would probably rather spin 2 pounds of Cormo alone than 2 pounds with 20% Bison. I'm still really glad I did it. It's just looking back at how excited I was because I thought it would be similar to Yak. I still prefer Yak over Bison. Yak is just my love for now. So now we can hop onto today's day 3 wool. And what it is, today is also a gift day because it is just the wool alone. It is not blended with anything fancy or anything. Yeah, it's just the natural wool. And then tomorrow we'll revisit this wool again, blended with some fancy schmancy. It won't be Bison again, but I'm really curious to see. So the gift for day 3 is perfect. Actually, lip balm, body and care, and it is calendula infused organic olive oil, organic coconut oil, Canadian beeswax essential oil by Maza House Pottery and Soap. This is actually Melissa's sister who owns this little business. They make super cute mugs. I have some of their mugs. I have their like spindle bowls. She usually shares a booth with Melissa at Knit City or wherever she goes. They're gonna like split a booth together. Ooh. Oh my god, it smells, is that cinnamon? Ooh, that smells nice. Yeah, it smells kind of like warmish cinnamony. I actually need a chapstick. That is like cinnamon. Oh my god, I love cinnamon. Okay. Ooh, okay. Well, I'm really happy I got this now. Today, I didn't even take a look at the label. Ooh. Oh, interesting. So this is the wool for today. This is the lock, a very beautiful crimp, a nice decent long length of a staple. So it should be a relatively easy spin. This one is kind of falling apart from the little nugget it was. It's beautiful. This is actually Corriedale from Anna Grattan, New Zealand. So I've actually spun Corriedale before, so this won't be my first time from this exact farm. I've never spun this color. When I spun my Corriedale from Anna Grattan, I knit this beautiful sweater with it. It was like this brown, really, really soft Corriedale. It was ridiculously soft. Most Corriedale are not like that. And I held it with a tin silk mohair to add a little bit of fuzz. But I'm really excited to spin this one because it does feel a little bit different. Even if they're from the same like flock, the same herd, each sheep is, it's like people, each person's different. So it's beautiful though. Okay, I can't wait to spin this one up. I'll try tonight. If not, I might have to do some catch up over the weekend, which is fine. As for the knits, honestly, these daily progresses are really minimal. So let me know if this is even interesting or if you'd want to see it every other day or something, because this is all I have. The only progress I made I made a second cable twist. That's it. So I knit from the first one, did the rows, which is just stockinette, and then did this cable twist. I now need to do another row of stockinette and then more cable twists. But basically, because it keeps getting bigger and bigger, because it's a shawl, it's going to get wider and wider like a triangle. This will just take longer for each row. So we'll see. But I feel like at some point my days are just going to be like, I knit this much, which really won't be that much. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a really fun, simple knit, and I kind of already memorized it, so I can just take it with me and just check back sporadically to make sure that I am still following the knit. So this is day 3. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I did not have time to spin the wool. The wool is still intact, but this did make me realize today I'm opening up this wool again, but zhuzhed up. You can kind of take a look at it and compare if there is a difference feeling wise and visually. I'm gonna be spinning the Corriedale today with nothing in it. Tomorrow spin today's. So I'm basically from now on gonna be one day off, but this will allow me to compare, which I wasn't able to do with the Cormo and Bison. So that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna try to keep up from now on, but off one day, if that makes sense. Oh no, they've all fallen. So that was day 3. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there is no gift because it's a blended Corriedale. So I don't know what is blended with it. This one feels a little bit smaller. Oh my god. Oh, that's so soft. I mean, I did open this one a little bit, so maybe I can kind of get this one to fluff up, but oh, that's so soft. Oh, that doesn't feel the same. It's a little bit whiter. This one has like a little bit more of a sandy tone to it. That's gonna be so beautifully like plied together and spun up. Day 4 is actually Corriedale from Anna Grattan in 20% Oakley Cozy Butter Scotch, Kiwi and Blueberry, Angora. Angora. That's rabbit. Oakley Cozy Butterscotch, Kiwi and Blueberry, Angora. 20%. I've never spun with Angora before. Or rabbit. That's what makes it so soft. But I wonder why there's so many names. I'm assuming it's because it's from many different, that's 5 different rabbits, bunnies in this wool, which is kind of cool. I've also seen videos where people spin directly off their bunny's like back, like they'll have it on their lap, and it's kind of like if you have a dog that sheds that is like a winter coat and a summer coat, you can just pull out the fluffs. It doesn't hurt the animal whatsoever because these hairs are just kind of like still lodged in, but they're no longer attached. So it just like pulls right off. You can see a clear difference between the 2 colors and between the Corriedale alone and Corriedale with Angora. But it 20% really does change the feel. Interesting. As for the knitting, I'm going to show you guys a cute little update because yesterday I brought some yarn to swap and some little gifts to swap because it was the last meetup before the holidays. So they do like it's supposed to be stitch markers, but everybody brings so much more things. I brought a couple gifts of stuff that I just didn't really know what to do with in my stash that I felt like it could deserve a better home. And what I got, because there's like a draw and everybody gets something when your number is called, but the package I got, I chose a small one, and it turned out to be this super cute, adorable Santa project bag. So it has my knit in it. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It's like little Santa elves. It's super cute, super fun, perfect for the holiday season. So I just put it all in the same like cable wise so you can properly see my progress. The yarn is beautiful. This knit is super fun to work up. I'm really liking it. And my friend yesterday when she saw this, she was like, it kind of looks like the pasta, the like curly, I forget what it was called, but the like pasta with a twist, which she's kind of right. It's kind of funny. Looking at it now, today is actually Thursday. We're Thursday. Yeah, knitting a 600 meter shawl on fingering weight yarn with 3.5 millimeters is not something I can do in a week. clearly while spinning up 25 grams a night. Yeah, so this is probably going to be trickling into the next week, or by the time we open up the pattern on Sunday for the new knit. I don't know if I'm going to be casting them on, knitting them simultaneously, or just showing it to you just quite yet. We'll see what the pattern is and how I feel. This is just working up a little bit slower than I thought, but it's still very fun. And if you guys haven't checked out this pattern, I think it is available now. If it is, I'll link it down below. Almost took the cushion off my chair. Oh my God, my life just flashed before my eyes. Whew. Okay, well, I was just gonna say, hopefully it's not too boring to always start with the same angle and the same background in this video every single day. But wow, my heart is now pumping. Okay, let's take some coffee to calm that down, because sure, caffeine calms. But anyways, happy Friday. Today is the last day of the week, well, work week. I did spin yesterday's wool, which was the Corriedale. This is what it looks like. This is the day before. So this was day 3. I spun it on day 4. So today we're day 5. We're gonna open day 5, but tonight I'm gonna be spinning day 4. If you're not confused, good. If you are, I think I just confused myself, so it's okay. But anyways, so this is yesterday's spin, the Corriedale. This is it with the rabbit, the Angora rabbit. I'm really excited to spin this one up. I saw someone else spinning it and said that the rabbit just gets everywhere, so this is the first time I'm going to be spinning with such a fluffy, soft, airy yarn, or wool to be yarn. So I'm looking forward to it. I can already tell it's so soft. I did also notice my Corriedale looks a little bit smaller than my Romney spins. So the 100% Romney is this one. It is my fullest bobbin. Then it's the Romney with Bison. And then the Corriedale. I'm assuming Corriedale is just a heavier fiber. It's totally normal. Some sheeps, depending on how crimpy they are, like I know long wools tend to be really heavy because they're really sturdy, or like a straight fiber. And the frizzier a yarn is, it's just air. It's just a fluffy ball of air. So that technically is going to be a lighter wool, right? I think so. But anyway, so I'm assuming that this is why this one is so thin. Look at the difference. This is the 100% Romney. It almost fills up my small bobbin, whereas the Corriedale, maybe it's just because it's a lighter color as well. Could just be an illusion. No, it's not an illusion, but it's interesting. But now for today, we get to open up day 5, and day 5 comes with a gift because it is a single, like unpizzazzed, unjazzed up wool. Anyways, what did I get? Oh my goodness, it's a little slug. It's so perfect. This definitely fits in with the theme of like forest, ground, mossy like vibes. And this is just so perfect. I really like it. But as I was saying, so far we've had some really good gifts. The chapstick or body balm, lip balm, the slug, and then day 1 was the stitch markers that I've been using on my shawl, which we're gonna take a look at after. I took a peek. I'm sorry, I took a peek. Oh wow. Look at this. The staple length almost blended in with the little ball. I didn't see it because it's so black, except for this little piece, which is a little bit brown. I'm assuming that's because it's been like sun bleached. It's just the tip of the sheep that like sticks out. But wow, this is soft. And it's so black. That's insane that it's just, this is the natural wool. Oh my God, I didn't even say it. By the way, this is Hanui wool from New Zealand. It is 100% Hanui wool. I've never spun with, no, I did. It was 100% Hanui, but I spun it into a single and then plied it with 2 Rambouillet wools, and this is what I made. Hopefully to knit up the traveler shawl. I still need to knit it. And I still can't get over the depth and the dark shade of this wool. It's crazy. I've never spun with a natural wool this dark. We're gonna see how that works out. I'm intrigued because I'm assuming it's not like knitting. If you knit with a dark wool, you can't see your stitches. This spinning, it doesn't really matter, but it's still kind of cool. I love it. This also piques my interest now because this is so soft. If you haven't spun with Hanui wool, I highly, highly recommend you try to get some. It is only in New Zealand. It's unique to a farm. They develop it themselves in 1980s, I think, was when they came up with the Hanui breed. It's like a family-owned farm and business. I highly recommend you try to get some because the micron count is to die for and it feels amazing. It's like softer than merino wool. It's beautiful. The shade is beautiful. They have so many different shades and colors. I really like it. So now what I was gonna say is I'm really intrigued to see what tomorrow's gonna be. What could she add to this? What is she gonna do? I'm kind of scared. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared, but we'll see. We'll see where her brain takes her. But again, tonight, what I will be spinning is this one. So then tomorrow, we can even compare and contrast the day 6 Hanui blended with whatever Melissa chooses to blend with it. I'm excited, but scared. Yesterday, I did do a little bit of knitting. Honestly, this is becoming slower and slower because it's wider and wider. You guys know the deal with shawls. This is where I'm at. I did the 3rd cable, like the 3rd row of cable. So it went from 1 twist now to 2 on each half, so that's 4 in total. And then the last row was 5 on each half, so that was 10 twists in total. So this is where I'm at with the shawl. It's taken me really long, but it is a really fun knit. And I really like the way this yarn feels. I'm not crazy about like merino too much, but this one feels really, really nice. The only thing, yesterday I made a mistake. I was spinning, and if you have a spinning wheel yourself, you might know that the oil at the orifice, like you oil your wheel, but it turns black. And I guess I had some on my hand after spinning when I picked up my knit. It's not too, I'm really hoping that I could use Power Scour to wash this out at the end, because Power Scour is what you use to wash fleeces. It removes like lanolin and oil, natural oils from the sheep. So what I hope, maybe I could try this right now. I should have tried it. Anyways, what I'm saying is I got a little dot right here. Maybe I could try that right now actually while I'm thinking about it before. It might have set in already, but anyways, it's not that big of a deal. It's just because this is so white or like grayish, snowy white, I don't know. So I made a mistake. So I'm kind of like upset at myself with this, but yeah, you can see it right there. It's like 1 stitch. From afar, you can't even tell. Oh, yes, okay, that's true. I did want to mention one thing. The Corriedale, this wool like unlocked something in my brain when I was spinning it. During Tour de Fleece, like it brought me back to that spin because this wool is exactly the same. It's just a different shade. I think it is from this exact farm. So it's the exact same like flock. It might just be from a different sheep because mine was more, it was called mocha because it had more like of a coffee, like latte vibe. Whereas this one is just much more of a crisp. It really resembles, it's a little bit more warmer than this cold one. This wool spins like a dream. If I could right now spin one wool for the rest of my life, it would be Corriedale from Anna Grattan. I don't know what it is. It's just so pleasing of a spin for me. I really, really like this. And this was just like a warm friend kind of saying hello yesterday. So I'm really excited to see adding 20% Angora rabbit what that's gonna do, because this is so much softer now. Is the Angora gonna fight it? Is the Angora gonna make it easier? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm super curious and I can't wait to see. So I'm just splitting up the roving for the Corriedale and Angora. I know that for the first couple of days, I didn't film my process at all, and I just kind of spun and showed you guys what I was working on. The thing is, sometimes after work, I just want to get into a potato like state, change into my PJs and just veg out, and spinning and watching TV. But because this wool is so sweet and lovely, I just thought it would be fun to kind of maybe spin it with you guys. Same with yesterday, the Corriedale, and maybe the Hanui over the weekend. We'll see how that goes. I just split it up into 2 main sections, and then I split that 2 sections into 2 thinner sections. It makes it easier to then just like lightly draft, ever so lightly. I really don't put any like tension in my hands when I'm doing this. I just kind of spread out the fibers a little bit more. And this will just make it easier to spin. What I've been doing, the only additional prep I've been doing for this entire thing. What else was I gonna say? Oh, my bobbins. I only have, this is what you don't want to happen. So you want to pull enough that this doesn't happen, but it's okay. It'll spin the same nonetheless. What I wanted to say for the third or second time now is I only have 6 bobbins. So after this one, I'm gonna have 2 more bobbins left for the Hanui, but then that would mean I need to ply on my e-spinner. Or, because my jumbo bobbins don't fit on my Traveler. I would have loved to have enough bobbins to show the 12, but I just don't have 12 bobbins. I have 6. I'm gonna have to ply either on my Traveler or ply on my e-spinner. I need to think about that tonight. Okay. Well, since this one is ripped, I'm gonna start with you. We're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see if it's true that rabbit floofs up the air. I have no idea. We'll see. We'll see. Where is my hook? I don't know if you can see this, but against my pants, there's like a little halo to it. That's really nice. I think that's the rabbit, because the other yarn, like the Corriedale alone, didn't have this. It's almost like a mohair. It's very fluffy. Good morning. Hello. So I did want to say a little bit of an update, because I was just editing my footage and I realized day 1 I called this what this was, but every other day I've been calling this wool Romney. It's not Romney at all. I just called it the correct name on the first day. It's Cormo. So this is Cormo, not Romney. The entire time I was watching myself and I was like, Cormo, Cormo, Cormo. Anywho, I did want to start off today with the knitting, because if you remember yesterday, the issue I was having with the little oil stain or whatever, Power Scour worked its magic. Where was it? I think it was on this side, or was it on this side? It's gone. That one little stitch is completely gone. Whereas, like, this is the other side, just to show you, like, I'm not tricking you or gaslighting you or anything. It is gone. It is a little bit weirdly, like, partially blocked out, because I literally just I put Power Scour directly on it, let it sit for a little bit, didn't rub it, and then I just put it in water. Like, didn't rinse it, just like dunked, like this little piece. I kind of just folded it like this and just like dunk this into water. Let it sit for about like 15 minutes. And then just rinsed it. That was it. And the Power Scour did its magic. I think what I'm gonna wash it just in case, because I feel like, is there a little stain left? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think we're good. I think it's just like the creasing and the folding of the, it needs to be properly fully blocked, not just like one awkward spot blocked. But I think what I'm going to do when I wash it is put a little drop of Power Scour in it again, let it soak, and then we should be good. But honestly, Power Scour works amazing. But that's why this one is like your heavy duty, like tough but gentle soap. Yeah. It's a little bit more expensive, but I've just been using it like as a last resort for this and then to wash my fleece, which was just twice. So this is the shawl and where I'm at. I did quite a lot of a progress yesterday. I am almost done the first skein. This is how much I have left. Super exciting. Gonna crack into the second skein today. The thing is, the shawl right now, I have 3 cable repeats. 1, 2, 3. There's supposed to be 5. I'm still on the first skein because it's supposed to use up the entire yarn. I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around the fact that the next 2 skeins is going to be used up in one cable section because there's only 5 cable, like the twisted cable repeat. There should only be 5 of them. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to work out. It has gotten much wider, and it does take me a really long time to knit one row. I watched a movie last night and I didn't even get, I just did the like little stockinette piece during the movie. That's it. And I couldn't knit more because like it's still a little damp. I need it to dry. It's just becoming a little bit longer to knit up, and tomorrow's Sunday. We open the new knit. Yeah. I did also finish spinning yesterday the Angora and Corriedale. This one I know how to say right because I love Corriedale. So this is the wool. This is the original one. And this is the Angora one. You can kind of tell it has, first off, it's whiter. Second off, this one has like the halo. It has the crazy, like fluffy, kind of mohair-esque vibe. And this one did get over all my pants. My shirt, I was wearing a black shirt. It wasn't as bad as when I spun up Gotland. For me, Gotland is the worst. It gets everywhere. That's why I wear an apron when I spin up Gotland, and I wear a mask. I put like a COVID mask, like just like the fabric ones, because I don't think I've ever shown this to you guys, but because my throat, like it gets dry when I spin up Gotland, and it gets like, I don't know. So I need to wear a mask, which is insane. That's the only fiber so far that I've ever had to do that. It's just like it gets in the air and fluffs around, and I don't think it's good to breathe it in. I don't want to cough out a hairball. Anyways, this one I didn't need to do that. Although this is just like a small sample. I'm pretty sure if I spun up Angora for like a much higher percentage, or I spun a pound of it, I would definitely need to take out my apron, and then who knows if I would, it's like over time, the throat gets really dry. It feels weird. And I'm worried it's because I'm inhaling like raw wool into my throat. Little distraction. But this is both of them. They are beautiful. Out of these 2 days, these 2 are my favorite spin. I prefer them much more over the Cormo, I was going to say Romney again, and Bison. But out of these 2, the Angora and Corriedale took the cake. It spun up. Like Corriedale spins up beautifully, but because this is soft, it spun up so much easier, and it didn't slip at all. It's just pure pleasure to spin up. So far these spins have been taking me a little bit over an hour, maybe an hour and a half. This one took like way less. This was done the morning here because Vancouver is a lot of high rises. If you've ever been to Vancouver, most of the buildings are, it's very different than like Montreal or other cities I've been to. It's all glass looking buildings. So when the sun starts to come in, it like reflects and whatever. So it's a little bit crazy. I never know where the sun is gonna hit and come from. And my apartment is also a lot of windows, big windows. So I just never know where the sun's gonna smack me. But I love it because who doesn't love a nice morning sun? What I was saying is, yesterday was this super gorgeous black Hanui, and this is what I'm going to be spinning today. I'm very, very excited. That means that today, what we are going to be opening, today is also the middle of this Advent, but it means today we will be opening day 6. So today, ooh, interesting. This is not what I expected. I always smell them as if they're gonna smell like sheepy or different, but she literally uses the same soap in all of these. So they all smell the same, but my mind is just like, wool, sheepy smell. I don't think it's silk, but it just has a little bit more of like, this one's a little bit more fuzzy, and this one's just a little bit more silky, but not silk. It's like a little bit more glossy. You can still kind of see the difference. This one's a little bit more gray. So today is Hanui with 20% Godiva and Latte. Well, those are the names. Kid Nabora Goat. That is not how you write spinning. Okay. Nagora goat. Spinning involves using soft, silky fibers from Nagora goats, a Nigerian dwarf crossed with an Angora goat, to create luxurious yarns, often blended with wool. The fiber is prized for its sheen, lack of lanolin, and softness, especially from kids. This is a kid one, but qualities varies, requiring sorting for guard hairs to make it next to skin softness for items like shawls, or used for durable goods like socks and rugs. Spinners often use techniques like core spun yarns and spiral plying to capture its unique curls and texture, making it great for unique yarns. Oh my god, this is just like exploding. It is very soft and silky. This is definitely no longer the same nugget that it was when I first opened it up, but I can definitely feel this one is more straight of a fiber, just like as a off glance, whereas this one has like a more crimpy feeling to it. I'm so interested to see once I spin these two, first off, how they're gonna spin up, because Hanui is super soft, but it's not like a slippery soft. It's not like you're spinning with silk where it just slides away from you and you can't control it. Hanui still has a nice grip to it. Pulling on this decently, and it's not just like sliding out. Oh no, it still has that. But it feels much more straighter and softer. Is it gonna be a two-toned yarn? Interesting. Interesting, because so far the colors have been matchy-matchy. I mean, this one will be beautiful. Oh my god, this is so deep. I love it. I love it. I love it. So the Hanui alone is going to be tonight's spin. Tomorrow, the Hanui and goat. But tonight, what I also plan on doing is spinning these ones, plying them together. They're already spun up. So that I could free up some bobbins. And maybe we could finish off the week with some finished yarns. They won't be blocked or washed yet, to show you guys the yarn for the first week. And then tomorrow is week 2. That'll be a different video. So I got some work to do. Still on my first cup of coffee, and it's a must. It's a must. Today is Sunday. Technically, I know that this is week 2. Thought it would be kind of cool to end with a little bit of a bang. Here are the 2 first yarns. I plied them yesterday night, late. They're not washed or blocked, so they are still like crinkly, and yeah, you can see that. They do need some blocking to bloom properly. So here's my Cormo and my Bison. As you can see, there's some parts that are a little bit thick, some parts are a little bit thin. I told you guys I had a little bit of an issue with this one. It was just a little bit trickier than the other spin, but I think it's beautiful. I really love this color, and it's not like, it's still really airy and fluffy. So I'm assuming soaking it is just gonna let it bloom even more. It's definitely probably more of a DK weight than a fingering. Yeah, it looks pretty thick. I still haven't measured the wraps per inch, and I haven't counted how many wraps I have. One thing that I kind of did happen with this yarn is I ran out of the Cormo Bison. It was just a shorter thread, a shorter yarn. So here is the 1 ply Cormo and then the 1 ply Cormo Bison. And then I have this mini itty bitty skein of just the Cormo. They really look similar, and honestly, if I was to knit side by side, if I run out of this yarn and then I switch to this one, I don't think I'd be able to tell the difference. This one might just be a little bit more fluffy because the Cormo was just the single Cormo you guys saw in the bobbin. It was just a lot more filling than the Cormo Bison. Definitely, this is a beautiful wool combination. I just love it. I also have the Corriedale right here, which was a ply 100% Corriedale, and then the second ply being Corriedale with 20% Angora Rabbit. And this one is also beautiful. This one's a little bit more crimpy, but at the same time, it's like a little bit more straight, if that makes sense. I don't know. Some parts, especially right here, I guess I just over twisted these little parts, but this is like what the blocking is going to take out. The little crazy crimps, it's going to blend everything together and really help fix these types of little issues. This one is so soft. I added a decent amount of twist, but at the same time already kind of relaxed. So I'm really eager to see, once blocked, how much more relaxed it's going to be. So out of the 2 finished yarns that I already have, as a reminder, there are going to be 6. I believe that the Corriedale and the Rabbit is my favorite one. This one is going to be hard to beat. Hard to beat. Starting off with a bang. This is what I'm left with after the first week. Let me know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed this type of video or what you were knitting on. Did you get an advent this year? I'm really curious. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye. And it'll be week 2. Bye.